Welcome to GovTech Breakdown, Beyond the Headlines from W2 Communications, where we take a look at the biggest headlines in government technology in the last month. I'm Luca Pagni, and December's headlines continue to focus on AI policy and regulation, along with diving further into the passing of the National Defense Authorization Act and government-wide acquisition reform. First up, the White House issued a major AI executive order aimed at creating a unified federal approach and limiting a patchwork of state AI regulations. McKenna Kelly and Maxwell Zeff at Wired highlighted the EO's creation of a Justice Department task force dedicated to challenging state laws and potential cuts to federal broadband funding. Alexandra Kelly at NextGov FCW noted a push toward a federal AI framework, while Miranda Nazzaro at FedScoop called the order a win for tech companies. Aragon Edom at Government Technology and Allison Mullenkamp at Roll Call emphasized state legal challenges and likely court battles. Next up, Congress approved the $900 billion National Defense Authorization Act, which covered lots of ground. However, acquisition reforms garnered the most attention. Valerie Insina at Breaking Defense outlined a new portfolio acquisition executive model, while Greg Hadley at Air and Space Forces Magazine and Thomas DeVelli at Defense One examined broader cultural changes in defense buying. On the civilian side, Elizabeth Perez at Meritalk and Miranda Nazzaro at FedScoop flagged concerns over the Technology Modernization Fund, which expired amid stalled funding for federal IT modernization. Beyond defense, broader acquisition reform continued. Grace Dilley at Meritalk and Edward Graham at NextGov FCW covered the Samosa Act, aiming to streamline software procurement. Anastasia Obis at Federal News Network detailed industry feedback on the Pentagon Software Fast Track Initiative, and her colleague Jason Miller reported on acquisition reorgs at the State Department. Melina Druga at Homeland Preparedness News and Sean Waterman at Air and Space Forces Magazine covered acquisition office changes at the VA and Air Force respectively, while Nick Wakeman at Washington Technology explored bid protests and cultural shifts in FAR reform. That concludes this edition of GovTech Breakdown. For deeper coverage, check out my colleague Brad Bass's weekly blog and the Gov and Beyond podcast featuring interviews with the reporters behind these stories. Stay smart, stay informed, and we'll see you next time.